Hey boys and girls, it's Rob Booker, and you're looking at how to jump out of bed in the morning. There used to be an audio link on this page, but it broke and I removed it, and it doesn't really matter. Getting out of bed in the morning can be difficult for a variety of reasons. Here are 3 top reasons that getting out of bed in the morning can be difficult. Number 1, you hate what you do. You hate your job, you don't like your family, you don't like the relationship that you're in. You don't like something. Something about your life is not going the way that you'd hope. So you don't look forward to it, right? Number 2, you're clinically depressed. I've been there. I know plenty of people that have been there who can have a diagnosis of mild depression or severe depression. I had parents in that situation. You've known people like that. In this situation, you might have plenty to look forward to, but you chemically can't get to the point where you recognize it. That you have lots of good stuff in your life, but you can't see it. That's not your fault, and you're not to blame for it, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way, and there's plenty of help that you can get, and it's worth getting. The third reason that you don't want to jump out of the bed in the morning sometimes is that you're hungover, or you're exhausted, or you physically drained yourself and you can't do it, like you can't get out of bed. The whole argument supposes that you want to get out of bed in the morning and that you're thinking about it. I mean, that's probably the whole reason you're even watching this right now. You're like, what's he going to say about getting out of bed in the morning? Like, is it worth it? To you, probably, because that's what you're watching this for. Here's what I have to say. If number 1 is your problem, if something about your life is causing you to just not look forward to your day, there's a really, really, really easy answer here that is not easy to implement. And here's what it is. Change what it is in your life that you don't like. Take absolute control over it and don't worry about what anybody else thinks about you. Change your life. And don't sit around waiting for it. Don't sit around thinking, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Change your life now. There is always something you can do right now. Always. Number 2, if you're clinically depressed, or if you suspect that you don't enjoy doing things that you used to do, if you don't find pleasure in your hobbies, if you can't get out of bed in the morning, if you seem to be completely lethargic, even about things that would ordinarily have excited you, and if you look online and read through a list of symptoms for depression and you seem to fit that mold, go get some help. There are places and clinics and even friends that you can turn to in a time like this. It's totally worth getting help. Not just so you can get a good night's rest, but there are plenty of things that each of us can do in life. And I am a huge fan of the idea that each of us can have an extraordinary life. Even if we're not famous, even if we don't write 25 books, each of us has a role to play and a mark to make on the world. And we each have times in our life where we just don't have the energy or the fuel to keep going that we really ought to have. And if you find yourself in that situation, it's a reasonably easy fix, but it's not simple, and it's not easy to do, but it's worth doing. Number 3, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're drinking too much, or if you're physically just totally out of shape, let me give you one piece of advice. Do something today. Eat your vegetables, go to bed early. Do one simple thing today that's extraordinary. Most people go their whole day, every day of their life, and do nothing extraordinary. Not even mildly extraordinary. They do the same things in the same way for the same reasons every day. So those are 3 reasons you might not get out of bed and 3 things you can do about it. Here's something else you can do. Make a list every night before you go to bed. Make a list of stuff that you're going to do tomorrow that's extraordinary. You don't have to get through the whole list. That's the great part about it. Make a list of some things that you can do that are extraordinary tomorrow. You'll go to bed wishing that you could get up as quickly as possible. It just starts to happen. It might be, I'm going to see somebody that I really care about tomorrow. I'm going to write something down that I've been meaning to write down. I'm going to keep a journal tomorrow for the first time in a long time. At work, I'm going to tell Stan in accounting that he can go fly a kite. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I'm going to walk in, I'm going to ask for a raise. I am not going to take any more crap tomorrow from this person who continually gives me a bunch of crap. Tomorrow, I'm going to reach out to my family member that I haven't talked to for a long time, and I'm going to tell them that I love them. There's 1,000 little things that you can do tomorrow that are extraordinary, but not difficult, that make a huge impact on someone else's life and thereby on your own. The simple act of making a list before you go to bed about what those extraordinary things might be. Not like washing the dishes or taking out the trash or sweeping the porch or washing your car or whatever. Something extraordinary. One little thing that you can do tomorrow. You'll find yourself in the early hours of the morning thinking, am I really going to do that today? And then you're already awake. And once you're awake, you can start to imagine the ways that today can be different and today can be extraordinary. I'm Rob Booker. I'm your host on TFL365.com, and I'm glad you're here.